We're on one of the most beautiful campuses in the country, just a stone's throw from the Pacific Ocean. Pepperdine University is the backdrop for this month's episode of WCC All-Access. I'm Ezra Broder.
And I'm Sammy O'Brien, and coming up, one LMU basketball player is about to become the first person in his family to get a college degree.
Plus, how many different ways can you say "Go Pilots"? One Portland player, 5 different languages. We sort through the many tongues of Tahirou Diabate.
And why were Adam Sandler, Jamie Foxx, and Reggie Miller playing softball here at Pepperdine? We'll show you how the Stars came out strong for the community. But first, the best of the best will once again be honored in March. 10 elite student athletes will be inducted into the WCC Hall of Honor, including Olympians and world champions. Let's meet this year's class.
Morrison tries one for the foul, 30 feet away!
Perhaps no one is more synonymous with WCC hoops in recent memory than Gonzaga's Adam Morrison. The 2006 Conference Player of the Year had a magical season, leading the nation in scoring at over 28 points per game, and was a finalist for both the Wooden and Naismith Awards. He's 3rd all-time in scoring at Gonzaga, despite only playing 3 seasons. Portland's Stephanie Lopez-Cox did it all in her college career: an NCAA National Championship, 3-time All-American, 2-time WCC Defender of the Year. She later won an Olympic gold medal in 2008. Orlando Smart is perched atop the San Francisco record books. The guard is the program's and the WCC's all-time leader in assists and ranks 14th in the NCAA in career assists. A 2-time first-team all-conference player, he scored over 1,500 points and dished out just under 1,000 assists in his career. LMU's Tara Erdman Welling was one of the fastest runners in the country in the 2010s. A 7-time All-American in cross-country and track, she took home the WCC cross-country medalist honors 3 times. And in 2012, she placed 6th at the Olympic trials in the 10K. He enrolled at Pepperdine in 1968 and never left. Gualberto Escudero coached the women's tennis team from 1978 until his retirement in 2014. In that span, he won 651 matches, believed to be the 2nd most all-time at that point. His teams won the conference regular season or tournament title in 25 of his 29 seasons and made the NCAA tournament in his final 27 years. Here are all 10 inductees. BYU's Tiffany Lott-Hogan competed in the 2004 Olympics in Athens in the heptathlon. That came after an illustrious career in Provo as a 3-time NCAA track champion and world record holder in the 55 meters. Pacific's Jane Gibson McHugh was a member of the 1988 Olympic volleyball team after putting together an All-American career at UOP. Trevor Newquist of St. Mary's men's soccer led the Gales to the NCAA quarterfinals for the first time in program history. He led the team in scoring twice, despite being a defender. Allie Cox is the first San Diego rower to earn all-conference honors 3 times. She later won a silver medal at the 2004 Olympics in Athens with the U.S.'s Eights boat. And Karen Horstmeyer finished her Santa Clara basketball career as the program's all-time leading scorer. At age 25, she became head coach and won 221 games over her 9-year tenure with the Broncos. The WCC Hall of Honor induction ceremony is on Saturday, March 9th at the Orleans Resort in Las Vegas. It'll be streamed live on the W.TV.
Just down the road at LMU, the revival of LMU basketball is well underway. The Lions opened the season 11-1, the best start in program history. At the center of the turnaround is hardworking senior James Batemon, who will become the first member of his family to earn a college degree.
Batemon, this a heat check, and guess what? He's still warm. That was 10 feet behind the arc.
But I'm putting him on speed dial right now because he is hot.
You're the oldest of 9 siblings. Tell me, what was it like growing up in that household?
You got a big fan support, you know, having a big family. So I call it home pretty much every day just to speak to each separate sibling. Got the opportunity to be a role model and set the bar high. So right now, in the summer, I'll be graduating with my bachelor's degree. and that's a first in my family. So hopefully it just influenced them to, you know, do something very positive with their life.
You had to work in a chocolate factory for a couple summers of your life as an internship that you got through your dad. Take me through that experience, how that came about, and what you ended up learning from that.
It was his idea to get the internship at his job because he was like, I want you to see what working a 9-to-5 job really feels like. You know, you don't want this, you want to achieve better, and it did work.
Your first school that you go to being North Dakota State College of Science. Did they have a nickname? Because that's a mouthful.
We call it Wahpeton. It's in Wahpeton, North Dakota. So at first I was going through high school. I mean, I was playing well, and I'm like, yeah, I'm going to easily go Division I because of my skill level. But then when school started to overlook me, it started to make me get a different perspective on life and how hard I had to work to really achieve what I wanted to achieve out of this game. Transferring
to LMU, how, why, when did you hear of LMU?
Pretty much towards the end of my career there, I felt wanted here. Once we had that connection, then I'm like the city of LA. I mean.
What is something that you learned about the team, about yourself, first year here at LMU?
Well, I learned no matter win or lose, we was gonna be a family. But one thing we took was how we closed out the year. Played Gonzaga real tight into the end. We knew the type of energy we had towards the end of the year, and we wanted that feeling again.
Were you surprised at all about the start that you guys had?
Not really surprised, I would say, but I would say that we worked for it, we earned that.
With all the success that the Lions have had this year, what would be the ultimate end game for you and how this senior year plays out for you?
Well, the ultimate end game is winning the conference tournament. Everybody wants a shot to play it in the national NCAA tournament. So besides basketball, because it's bigger than basketball, I mean, getting a degree is going to be great.
Time to take a break. When we come back, Ezra takes us down the coast to see what's making headlines on campus. And we get a unique tour of the Portland food scene. Tahirou Diabate helps us order in 5 different languages. That's coming up next. WCC All-Access is brought to you in part by Nike.
From the classroom to the court, 10 exceptional schools across the West Coast. Since 2010, 48 postseason wins, 12 academic All-Americans.
Pop the 3, how do you like that?
1 Final Four appearance. It's more than just a game.
The vastness of the unknown. Its mysteries call to us to seek truth, wisdom, and love in all we do. The journey isn't easy, but we follow a new way, a different way, a third way. At the crossroads of faith and reason, scholarship and culture, mind and soul, we choose an uncommon path. This is our way.
We're back on WCC All-Access from the campus of Pepperdine. I'm Ezra Broder. It's time to go down the coast and see what's making headlines around the conference. The WCC Basketball Championships have a new sponsor. The conference signed a long-term deal with University Credit Union to be the title sponsor of the annual tournament in Las Vegas. It's the largest sponsorship agreement in WCC history. In Stockton, another jersey now hangs from the rafters. Dell Demps had his number retired by the Tigers. The former guard is the 2nd all-time leading scorer at UOP and the 5th Tiger to have his number retired. Demps is in his 9th season as the general manager of the New Orleans Pelicans. Baseball season is right around the corner, and the WCC is getting some love on the national level. Kevin Milam and Ken Waldachuk of St. Mary's and Casey Legumina of Gonzaga were all named to preseason All-American teams. All 3 juniors were on the All-WCC first or second teams last season. And tennis season is already here, but this will be the last for San Diego in its current facilities. Athletic Director Bill McGillis announced plans for a new tennis center opening next season. It's expected USD will break ground on the new complex at the end of this season. He grew up in West Africa, lived in France and the Canary Islands, went to high school in Japan, and now he goes to college in Portland. Tahirou Diabate is a well-traveled basketball player who speaks 5 languages. Here's Sammy with more on the Pilots' big man.
Out of the pick and roll, Diabate, and one.
Tell me your first language, what it was.
My very first language is going to be Bambara. That's my native language. Back home in Mali, that's what I've been speaking growing up. You know, when I was young, I had the chance to move to France with my parents for a little bit, and that's how I got to learn the French.
You did high school in Japan, so I'm imagining that you picked up some Japanese then?
Totally. I can speak Japanese, but before that, I actually got to go to Spain, so I had the chance to learn English and Spanish at the same time, pretty much. So, yeah. And then after that, that's when I went to Japan for my high school. I kind of wanted to learn many different languages, kind of, you know. And I had my mom who also wanted me to do so. So that kind of motivated me very much into moving around and switching places and stuff like that.
What's been the hardest one for you to learn? Japanese
is way different from all these languages. Like, it just sounds different. The writing style is different. Everything is just different, honestly.
でも長岡好き。長岡にいい人がいっぱいいる。私は友達できたここに長岡好きです。
What are some of your favorite English words that you've learned from some of the guys on the team?
No, I don't think you want to hear that. I don't think you want to hear that, so yeah.
You speak 5 languages, you're clearly really good at English, but I want to test out those other languages that you're fluent in.
Sure.
And let's go test out the people who work at these food trucks and see if they really know what they're talking
about.
about.
Let's just go mess with people a little bit. That would be great.
Let's go.
すみません。日本語喋りますか? Korea? Alright, cool. He's from Korea. ¿Qué tienes ahí?
Tortas, enchiladas.
¿Tienes pollo?
¿Sí?
¿Sí?
¿Pollo?
Sí, voy a tomar pollo.
¿Pollo?
Sí.
¿Y todo lo que lleva está bien? El burrito adentro lleva frijol, arroz, queso, crema y pico de gallo.
Sí, eso.
¿Sí?
Sí.
Okay.
That's my money bag. Alright. Appreciate you very much. Thank you. Are you Japanese?
I'm Japanese. Oh, すごい日本語喋る。
日本人。そうですね。うわー、これ何カレーですか？唐揚げカレーなの。厚カレーも持ってるの。すごいですね。はい、ありがとうございます。はい、どういたしまして。Tu parles français? Tu parles français? Never mind, I can speak English too. So yeah, it's all good, it's all good. Just trying to mess around with people a little bit. He was like, what? Spanish, vámonos pilots, Japanese, pilots y cosas, French, Ale pilots, Bambara, Angata pilots, and English, let's go pilots, right?
He was valedictorian of his high school class and graduated from Carnegie Mellon with a 3.95 GPA. He's also won over 450 games in his college career. Needless to say, Herb Sendek is one of the smartest people you'll ever meet. Take a look as he breaks down the WCC with Barry Tompkins.
Tell me about both this conference as you see it this year and your Santa Clara team.
Well, I continue to be very impressed with our conference. I knew it obviously before I came to Santa Clara because we played against so many teams from the WCC through the years. But when you actually go through a round robin and you play everybody twice and you get that up close and personal, it gives you even an additional perspective. And it's only reinforced the fact that our league is really, really good and it's competitive top to bottom. I think sometimes because the top of our league has been so good that it's very easy to not fully appreciate how good the other part of the league is. But as an East Coast-centric person, having grown up in Pittsburgh and spent most of my life on the East Coast, I think our league could very well be the West Coast version of the Big East. You know, we're similar institutions, and the needle keeps moving that direction.
One thing that I've seen over the course of time with this league, this has become a really good coaches league. I mean, you're not going to just slip into town and get a gimme.
No, we have tremendously challenging preparations, very unique preparations. So just because you did A for game on Thursday doesn't mean you could do the exact same thing on Saturday Each team really presents their own challenges, their own puzzle to solve. But I couldn't agree with you more. It's a tremendous coaches league that really requires diligent preparation.
When we come back, we catch up with one of 4 NBA head coaches who got their start in the West Coast Conference. And celebrities gathered here on the Pepperdine campus to raise money for those affected by the wildfires. More on that coming up next.
From the shores of the Pacific to the mountains of Utah, in the classroom, in the community, and on the fields of play, we give back. We lead by example. We represent.
Here are some of the best moments on social media. A picture's worth 1,000 words, and maybe no picture sums up BYU's win over 13th ranked Gonzaga better than this one. Paisley Johnson's free throws with a minute left helped the Cougars secure the win and take over first place in the WCC. Few are playing better right now than Pepperdine alum Andrew Putnam. It's only fitting the word putt is in his last name, as the former Wave used his putter to shoot an 8 under 62 in the opening round of the Sony Open. He ended up finishing in second place. And USD showed up in the community on MLK Day. Take a look at the Tahirou softball team honoring Martin Luther King Jr. at a rally in San Diego. Way to represent, Tahirou's. We're back on the Pepperdine campus for this month's episode of WCC All-Access. I'm Sammy O'Brien. Lloyd Pierce is in his first year as head coach of the Atlanta Hawks. He's one of 4 NBA coaches who played their college ball in the WCC. So let's go next level with the Santa Clara alum.
What's it feel like to be an NBA head coach?
It was humbling. Obviously, it's an honor that not a lot of people get, and I realize that and recognize that. So it's just an honor. It's a testament to the work that I've put in the last 11 years at the NBA level. But I also know there's a lot of work that goes into it moving forward. So I'm excited, but I'm also eager to get to work.
You're one of 4 NBA head coaches who played at WCC schools, which I don't know how many other conferences can say that. Is it something about the WCC, or is it just coincidence?
No, you know, I always say it's the mid-major mentality, and being a part of a mid-major program and conference, the greatest thing is you get to be a jack of all trades. You know, everybody that's come through the conference knows that we didn't have the blue-chip All-Americans and top-notch players that came through, and all of the programs that have succeeded, it's been because of they put in 4 years of good work. They've had great coaching. It's a very solid conference, as you see now, with 2- and 3-team bids. So we're very proud of the conference. We're very proud of the 4 guys, myself included, that are now head coaches, and the many assistant coaches that have come through the NBA as well.
Another guy you played with, Steve Nash. Can you just talk about what it was like playing with him at Santa Clara?
Yeah, I always tell people, you know, the beauty of playing with Nash is just the genius of a person and the genius of a player. Obviously a unique talent, special talent, 18 years in the NBA. Every player he played with, he made better, and everyone knows that. But, you know, I think the biggest character issue that I have with him is he's the greatest human being I've been around. He's into philanthropy. He's big into helping others. He really cares about things that he does, especially on and off the court, and all the players that he's worked with and the people that he's worked with.
When Malibu was devastated by a pair of tragedies in November, the community rallied together, supporting those who needed help. Pepperdine helped raise money for those in need by hosting a celebrity softball tournament on the field right behind me. Take a look at how they exemplified the hashtag WCC Represent with help from the likes of Adam Sandler, Jamie Foxx, and Brad Paisley.
Or the land of the
It was actually Justin Turner that wrote me into this today, and he called and said, "You want to do this?" I said, "I would make a fool of myself anytime for this cause." So I am thrilled that these guys, who are great people, are doing this for this community.
Adam Adam Sandler. Did a great job of hitting them where they ain't.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, it is now time for what we call the fourth inning stretch.
Liner.
Of course, a big thank you to Pepperdine University for being such gracious hosts. Thank you so much.
One more block to go. Coming up, we preview the month ahead and tell you what to look out for. And WCC Hoops players and coaches tell us what Black History Month means to them. That and more when we return.
From the classroom to the court, 10 exceptional schools across the West Coast. Since 2010, 48 postseason wins, 12 academic All-Americans.
Pop the three. How do you like that?
One Final Four appearance. It's more than just a game.
Here's what to watch for over the next few weeks. If you haven't seen them already, check out our weekly social media segment called Katz Chats WCC Hoops. National College basketball reporter Andy Katz talks with a different men's or women's WCC player or coach each week. You can see it on the WCC Hoops Twitter account or on the WCC's Facebook and YouTube pages. And the University Credit Union WCC Basketball Championships are just a few weeks away. The action starts on Thursday, March 7th, with 2 champions being crowned on Tuesday, March 12th. You can watch all 18 men's and women's games on TV and online, including 6 games on the ESPN networks. From Malibu, welcome back to WCC All-Access. I'm Ezra Broder. February is Black History Month, a time to recognize and honor the accomplishments of African Americans throughout history. We asked WCC players and coaches what it means to them. Take a look.
It means that we are identified as an equal. Although we're not always treated as an equal, it also lets me know that we have a past that we are trying to get further and further away from. There have been wonderful changes, but there's still a lot that I am wishing and hoping for, but it definitely makes me feel good to be represented and to be accounted for as a culture.
It's a tremendous ordeal to have a month dedicated to people who sacrifice their lives for us. But I don't think February should just be the month. It should be an everyday thing that people like that should get recognition.
Having taught also at the high school level and seeing the changes that are slowly coming into play, that education, Black history is part of history throughout the year, is more significant to me than having just a month, the shortest month of the year at that.
The fact that you're a basketball coach and the percentages of African Americans that play basketball, you understand that it's a very, very important element to your players, and I think all of us have to understand that we're very, very fortunate to be a part of something and recognition of that, and nobody stands taller than Martin Luther King. What he did was very special, and anytime we have a chance to educate and bring that forward, we should.
Knowing what African Americans have done in the world positively and how much we affect, the world in a positive way, whether what Colin Kaepernick is doing or what Martin Luther King did, it has a great impact.
That'll do it from Pepperdine. Thank you for watching WCC All Access. We leave you with some of the best moments from the last month of action around the West Coast Conference. See you next time.
He might get another one.
Oh, you need to pass that off. Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you. Drop that off.
Clark with a finish. The crowd to its feet.
Powell. Beautiful improvisation.
George, did she get an assist on that? She passed it to herself.
Off somebody else's backside.
I like this matchup here. Colby Ross. Ooh.
Nice move.
My goodness. They called that putting him on skates, partner. He put Isaiah Pinheiro on skates. Looks like he had roller skates trying to guard him.
That's picked off and stolen by the Tigers. Gallinat all by himself slams it home with one hand. Roberto Gallinat not to be denied.
From the shores of the Pacific to the mountains of Utah, in the classroom, in the community, and on the fields of play, we give back. We lead by example. We represent.